It was rainy, drizzling and thunderous, the day I went to visit the birthplace of America. Two people walked past me, one a boy who looked very emotional, holding his hands to his chest. At the end of the cement walkway stood a tall stone monument, erected in 1907 to commemorate 300 years since the first settlement of English-speaking people on the American continent. The inscription on the pillar stated the first settlers arrived here on the 13th of May, 1607. The monument was silhouetted imposingly over the backdrop of an overcast sky. It represented the spirit of America. I knew I was standing at the birthplace of a great nation. I walked through the pebbled path which led to the place where the James Fort once stood, the first settlement of the English on American soil. An old man greeted me near the gates of the fort, and as I entered through the open gates, I saw the Union Jack fluttering in a light breeze. Near the flagpole stood a statue of a woman. She was Pocahontas, the daughter of Powhatan, chief of the natives and the ruler of the chiefdom. She was a frequent visitor to the colony and was kidnapped by Captain Argyle. Whilst a hostage, she was baptized and converted to Christianity. She became Rebecca, who married John Rolfe in 1614 and had a son named Thomas. With Rolfe and Thomas, she left to England, where she died a year later. And today, many Americans claim their descent from her son and granddaughter. The statue seemed as though she was welcoming us to her homeland. I walked through the narrow paths, and around me, historical excavations were still going on. I could almost hear the galloping of the horses that once rode through this path. Overlooking the mighty James River, I saw a majestic statue. And near it a small boy playing on the banks under the watchful eyes of Captain John Smith. Captain Smith was the governor of Virginia in 1608, and he contributed tremendously to establishing the colony. Under the overcast sky, the towering statue still stood, watching over the James River. I continued walking through the narrow path where an old cannon lay. Reminding me of the various battles the first settlers had fought. I walked past a miniature model of the James Fort that stood here in 1607. And a stone tablet depicting the Holy Communion. I was walking behind a lone woman through the narrow path when suddenly a line from Robert Frost's poem occurred to me. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Many tablets were placed along the path depicting various historical events that took place here. I tried to read each one carefully. I went towards the church building constructed in the 19th century over the ruins of the 16th century church. The foundation of the latter remains preserved near its entrance. As I silently entered the church, I could feel the spirits of the first settlers who worshipped here. It gave me goosebumps to know that I was stood in the very same spot where 400 years ago they too knelt and prayed. I spent a few minutes in prayer to pay respect to their memories. I left the church, from its backyard to the cemetery, the final resting place of the courageous souls who left their homelands chasing a dream for a better tomorrow. I paid my homage to those who still lay on the banks of the James River. Here lie in peace the early settlers, the founders of this great nation. A wooden cross left behind to honor their ultimate sacrifice. And those sacrifices were not in vain, as 400 years later, a great nation was born from the humble beginnings of this settlement. As I left the Jamestown settlement, the picture of the young boy playing on the banks of the James River, throwing stones across the water, replayed in my mind. I saw a boat cruising through the river, representing man's quest to seek out and explore unknown lands, planets, and the universe through the streams of time. The journey never ends.